Welcome to TMZ Sports. My name is Evan, along with Michael J. Babcock.
What's up?
WNBA superstar / co-owner of the Atlanta Dream, Renee Montgomery.
Hello there.
And we've got to start the show by paying tribute to DMX, a hip-hop superstar who made a massive impact, not only in music, but in sports as well. And that's why we're going to talk about him at the top of this show. He passed away Friday morning after suffering a heart attack. Our sources tell us, unfortunately, it stemmed from a drug overdose. DMX's history of substance abuse was widely reported. He's acknowledged it over the years. It was a very sad way for him to go. But I kind of want to focus on his life and his impact right now when we talk about him, because everybody from LeBron James to Adrian Peterson to Mike Tyson, the biggest sports stars in the world, are speaking out about DMX and how much he meant to them. We've seen Mike Tyson walk into fights playing DMX's music. Anderson Silva used to walk into the ring playing DMX's music. People like Steven Jackson have DMX's quotes tattooed on their body. This guy was not just important to the world of hip hop. He really inspired and uplifted athletes and showed them, motivated them. He was a man of God. He was a man of faith. And he helped people see that you can become a global superstar and still, hold on to those values. And it meant so much. Renee, as a professional athlete, and I know you've come across tons of international superstars like Prince. We were just talking about this yesterday. Can you kind of tell us the impact that DMX made on the world of professional sports and basketball in particular?
Well, I say this all the time, and now it's rapped about a lot, but athletes and entertainers are synonymous because we want to be them and they want to be us. But the reason I say that is because you name any rapper, if they go to a court, they're sitting courtside, they want to shoot, they want to be on the court. And then you look at how many athletes are actually rappers themselves. Damian Lillard, Iman Shumpert have put out, Kobe put out an album. But that's just to say that comes from something, that comes from an influence. And so when you get influenced so heavily by someone, you want to emulate them and do what they do. And as you said, people have DMX lyrics tattooed on their body. They can recite full songs. And he was just a whole mood. So, yeah, that it's felt definitely not only in the hip hop culture, but in the sports community as well.
Yeah, man. Like, even for me growing up, like it was Biggie and then it was DMX. And it was like the soundtrack to your life growing up in the late 90s and in the early 2000s. And he just, like that DMX swagger that he had. And I think it went so well with sports. And I think that's why so many superstar athletes had held this guy in such high regard. And it's devastating news. And you're seeing that out of the sports world and out of the music world.
Yeah, there is a former NBA player, actually, who tried to get involved with DMX and really help him with his addiction issues years ago, and that is Jason Williams. Jason Williams was an NBA superstar who had his own problems, went to prison, had addiction issues, and has since, for years now, has operated a rehab facility in Florida where he helps people battling substance addiction. There was a time in 2018, he knew DMX well. He actually had a really close relationship with DMX. And at the time, DMX had just pled guilty to tax fraud and was going to go to prison. And Jason Williams had begged anybody who would listen to him. Prison is the wrong place for this man. He needs to be in a rehab facility, my rehab facility. I know him. I can make an impact on his life, and I can help this guy. We spoke to Jason Williams back in 2018 about this, and this is what he said at the time. Take a look.
Of course, who doesn't know DMX? Growing up in New York City, we run across each other all the time. 8, 9 o'clock when dog turned to wolf, we see each other out. I just was fortunate enough to come down to Florida 28 months ago and get clean and sober, and came through and put a program together where we do outdoor adventure therapy during the day and go to class all afternoon. And Mike Kaiser, people at Atlantic Records, people all over saying, man, help Earl, help DMX. Let me tell you something. He's sick. He's not deviant. He's just a sick individual who needs to get off of drugs, get his life together so he can take care of his children, pay his taxes, and be a good member of society. And I think he got that in him. Now that he's really scared, he's really up against the wall, he's nervous, we can really help him down there. Who doesn't love DMX, man?
Yeah, Babcock, I know you've spoken with Jason Williams since DMX's passing.
Yeah.
How does he feel about the whole situation right now?
He's devastated and he's confused. He said that he hadn't heard from DMX, and he felt like if DMX was really struggling again, if he had relapsed with the drugs, DMX would have reached out to him. So he's devastated. He's sad. He's looking for answers. And this was somebody that Jason went out on a limb and he really wanted to help DMX, and to see him only pass away at the age of 50 is really hard for Jason Williams, to be honest.
Yeah, look, DMX made a huge impression on all of us. His music is legendary. Go Google him, go YouTube him, go watch his videos. He's awesome. R.I.P. DMX.